Hey everyone, welcome back to ReviewCast.
It's great to be here.
Today we're diving deep into something that's been uh, popping up everywhere online.
Yeah?
Cellucare.
Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, it's all over my feed. This natural supplement that's making a lot of buzz for blood sugar management.
Yeah, especially for folks looking for natural ways to support their health. When it comes to blood sugar especially.
Absolutely. And there's so much information and misinformation out there.
Oh,
I'm
totally.
going to try to cut through that today.
Huh.
We've been looking at YouTube reviews,
Lots of those.
tons of them, and also information from what seems to be Cellucare's official website.
A little bit, yeah.
We really want to figure out what exactly Cellucare is, what's in it,
Good question.
what does it claim to do, and whether the experiences people are sharing online seem credible.
Exactly. Got to be careful with those online reviews, right? So much hype out there.
Oh, totally.
Mm.
Let's start with the basics. What is Cellucare?
Well, from the information we've gathered, it's marketed as a dietary supplement, and it's designed to support healthy blood sugar levels.
Okay.
And a lot of the reviewers, they're really emphasizing that it's natural, plant-based,
Stop.
free from all the stuff that people tend to worry about these days. No stimulants, no chemicals, no GMOs,
Gluten.
gluten-free. Yeah, really focused on those natural ingredients.
Okay, so plant power is the big idea here.
Seems to be a big selling point, for sure.
But what are these magical plants? What are the key ingredients in Cellucare that are doing all this?
Well, there are a few that come up again and again in the reviews. Turmeric, for one.
Oh, turmeric.
It's that popular spice.
I love turmeric.
Yeah, it's got that vibrant color, earthy flavor, but it's also been used traditionally for medicinal properties for centuries.
I put it in my smoothies,
Oh, yeah,
my curries.
it's great for that. Well, turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, and curcumin has been studied for its potent anti-inflammatory effects.
Right.
And inflammation, as we know, plays a role in a lot of health conditions,
Yes.
including blood sugar imbalances. So the thinking is that by reducing inflammation, turmeric could potentially help support healthy blood sugar levels.
It makes sense. Inflammation is like the root of all evil, health evil anyway.
Seems to be. Yeah.
Now, I also saw a lot of people talking about juniper berry. What's that all about?
Yeah, juniper berry was one that caught my eye too. One reviewer actually specifically highlighted its potential diuretic effects.
Okay.
So diuretics, those help the body eliminate excess water and salt.
So important.
And that's often really important for managing blood pressure,
Okay.
which interestingly aligns with one of Cellucare's claims that it can help support healthy blood pressure levels.
So juniper berry is kind of like a 2-for-1 deal then.
Maybe so, helping to manage blood sugar and blood pressure.
Awesome. Now, I know you said those were just a couple of the ingredients. What else is in this botanical blend?
Oh, there's more. There's cocoa bean extract.
Okay, wait, so like chocolate.
Not exactly like a chocolate bar. It's an extract, right?
Okay.
A concentrated form of certain compounds found in the beans. And reviewers are really highlighting its potential antioxidant benefits and its support for healthy blood flow.
Okay, so we've got turmeric fighting inflammation, juniper berry maybe working on blood pressure, cocoa bean extract, the antioxidants and the blood flow. That's quite a team.
It is. They're really packing a punch with these ingredients.
But there's got to be more.
Oh, yeah. The list goes on. There's rhodiola. You familiar with that one?
I've heard of it, but I don't know a lot about it.
It's a herb known for being an adaptogen, meaning it may help your body manage stress better.
Stress is a killer.
Oh, tell me about it. And stress can really mess with your blood sugar levels.
Okay.
So it kind of makes sense to include rhodiola in the mix.
Definitely. What about Siberian ginseng? I've heard that one a lot.
That one's often touted for boosting energy and vitality, which, let's face it, a lot of us are lacking, especially when our blood sugar's all over the place.
Totally. So you're thinking if Cellucare helps stabilize blood sugar, Siberian ginseng could be contributing to that feeling of more energy.
It's possible, and that's what some of the reviewers are saying, too.
Interesting. Okay, so we got turmeric, juniper berry, cocoa bean extract, rhodiola, Siberian ginseng. Anything else?
Oh, there's more. Gymnema sylvestre is a really interesting one.
What's that?
It's a herb that's been used in Ayurvedic medicine for a long time to help regulate blood sugar.
Wow.
Some research actually suggests that it might interfere with our ability to taste sweetness.
Really?
Yeah, which could potentially reduce those sugar cravings we all fight.
That would be amazing. Like if you could just turn off that switch that says, I need a cookie right now.
Right, and that could be a huge win for anyone struggling to control their blood sugar.
Absolutely. So we've got turmeric, juniper berry, cocoa bean extract, rhodiola, Siberian ginseng, Gymnema sylvestre, that's a mouthful.
And we're not even done yet.
Oh, there's more.
Pine bark extract, another potent antioxidant. Banaba leaf, traditionally used to support digestion, and it may also play a role in blood sugar regulation.
Wow, they really loaded this thing up.
And last but not least, there's butcher's broom, not quite clear on its exact purpose in Cellucare.
Mm.
It's been used traditionally for circulation issues, so it could be playing a supporting role in that aspect.
Okay, so it's like a botanical symphony for blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But the big question, the million-dollar question is, does it actually work? I mean, all these natural ingredients with all this potential, but do they actually deliver?
That's the real question, isn't it? And unfortunately, that's where things get a little tricky. These YouTube reviews, while interesting, they're not scientific studies, they're just people's personal experiences. So it's important to approach them with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Right, because what works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly.
Individual results, they can vary a lot.
Right.
So what else should we be considering when we're looking at Cellucare's claims?
Well, one thing that jumped out at me was that a lot of reviewers, they really stressed the importance of consistency and long-term use for the best results.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're talking about taking Cellucare consistently, like 3 to 6 months, sometimes even longer, to really experience those full effects.
Wow. So it's not a quick fix.
Not at all. Sounds like these ingredients, they might work gradually over time. It's about supporting your body's natural processes, not just popping a pill and expecting a miracle.
That's a really good point. It's about a long-term commitment to health, not just a quick fix.
Exactly. It's like a marathon, not a sprint.
Love that. Okay, so we talked about what Cellucare is, those star ingredients, the whole consistency thing. But what are some of the specific benefits that people are actually reporting? What are they saying about their experiences?
Well, a lot of the reviewers, they're saying that Cellucare helps stabilize their blood sugar levels.
Okay.
Some even go as far as to say it's helped them manage their diabetes better.
Yeah.
But, and this is a big but, anyone managing a serious health condition like diabetes, they absolutely should consult with their doctor
Right.
before making any changes to their treatment plan.
Of course, always.
Supplements are not a replacement for prescribed medication or advice from a healthcare professional.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So, aside from the blood sugar management, are there any other benefits that are being reported?
Yeah, weight loss comes up a lot.
Really?
Yeah, some reviewers are attributing that to Cellucare's ability to, maybe improve glucose metabolism.
Okay.
Others are mentioning a more general boost in metabolism. But weight loss is tricky. It's a complex process, right? Lots of factors can play into it.
Definitely.
So it's hard to say for sure what role Cellucare is playing in these reported weight loss experiences.
Right. Always good to approach those weight loss claims with a healthy dose of skepticism.
For sure. Focus on making those sustainable lifestyle changes.
Right. What else? What other benefits are people mentioning?
Reduced sugar cravings are a big one. A lot of reviewers are highlighting that, and that could be linked to that Gymnema sylvestre.
Yeah, that makes sense. If Cellucare can help with those cravings, that could be huge for so many people.
Absolutely. And then, of course, you've got the classic claims of increased energy and vitality, which, as we talked about earlier, could be related to the Siberian ginseng or just the overall improvement in blood sugar balance.
Yeah, makes sense. When your blood sugar's all over the place, you're going to feel those energy dips and crashes.
Exactly.
Now, I also noticed a few people mentioned improvements in digestion.
That could be from the Banaba leaf.
Ah, okay.
That's been traditionally used for digestion support, and some people even reported improvements in blood pressure, possibly linked to the juniper berry. We even saw a few mentions of boosted immunity and heart health, but those were less common and need further investigation.
So basically, Cellucare is being praised for a whole bunch of potential benefits.
It seems so, from stabilizing blood sugar to reducing sugar cravings,
Boosting energy,
supporting digestion.
maybe even weight loss, better blood pressure. It's a long list. But before we get too excited, we need to be real about the lack of scientific evidence to back up some of these claims.
Right. We've got to be cautious. We've talked about all these great individual ingredients, and there is promising research, but we haven't seen any really strong studies that are looking at Cellucare specifically as a complete formula.
Right. And that's where we need to be critical thinkers. We can't just take those YouTube reviews as gospel. They're just one piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely. It's so important to remember that anecdotal evidence is not the same as scientific proof.
Exactly. And that's where our conversation gets even more interesting.
Stay tuned for part 2. Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we were talking about all those potential benefits of Cellucare's ingredients. But we need to kind of zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture. What does the science actually say about all of these ingredients and their effects on blood sugar?
Yeah, good point. We've heard a lot of anecdotes from those YouTube reviewers, but what about the research? What does that tell us? Let's start with turmeric. We talked about it being anti-inflammatory, but have there been studies on turmeric specifically for blood sugar?
There's actually quite a bit of research on turmeric and curcumin, which is that active compound, in relation to blood sugar control.
Okay.
Some studies, they've shown that curcumin might improve insulin sensitivity, and that's super important for helping your cells absorb glucose from the bloodstream.
Right, right.
And it might also help reduce those blood sugar spikes after meals, and maybe even improve overall blood sugar control for people with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes.
So there's at least some scientific backing for the turmeric claims. That's good news for turmeric lovers like me.
Mm.
What about juniper berry? What's the research say about that one?
Well, juniper berry is traditionally known for those diuretic properties like we talked about, helps manage blood pressure. But research on its direct effects on blood sugar, that's a bit more limited. There are some early studies that suggest it could have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects,
Okay.
which could indirectly benefit blood sugar. But more research is definitely needed to really understand how it works with blood sugar.
So the jury's still out on juniper berry.
Kind of, yeah. It's promising, but we need more data.
What about the cocoa bean extract? We talked about its antioxidant properties and the blood flow support, but does that actually translate into any blood sugar benefits?
There's some really interesting research on cocoa bean extract and its potential for improving blood sugar regulation.
Okay.
So it's rich in flavonoids, which are those powerful antioxidants, and those flavonoids may improve insulin sensitivity
Okay.
and reduce oxidative stress, which is something that can damage cells and mess with blood sugar.
Gotcha.
Some studies have even shown that consuming cocoa bean extract might actually lower blood sugar levels and improve your insulin response.
So it's like dark chocolate is good for you, but cocoa bean extract is even better.
Well, we're not quite saying that, but there is that potential, and it's definitely exciting. It could be a valuable tool for managing blood sugar.
Definitely. What about the rest of those ingredients in Cellucare? Anything promising on those?
Rhodiola, Siberian ginseng, and Gymnema sylvestre, they've all been used traditionally for ages for different health concerns, and there's a growing body of research on their potential blood sugar benefits, too.
Okay.
Rhodiola, it's thought to help the body adapt to stress, which, as we all know, can wreak havoc on blood sugar levels.
Yeah.
Siberian ginseng may improve how sensitive your body is to insulin and how well your cells take up glucose.
Gotcha.
And Gymnema sylvestre, like we were saying earlier, it might reduce sugar cravings and maybe even mess with how your body absorbs sugar in your gut.
So we don't have like definitive proof that all of these things work perfectly together in Cellucare, but there's at least some evidence that they could be helpful for blood sugar.
Right. There's a foundation of scientific research there to suggest that these ingredients, maybe they do play a role in blood sugar management.
It's like a good starting point.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to approach these claims with a balanced perspective. Be excited about the potential, but also acknowledge that we need more rigorous scientific investigation.
Absolutely. And it goes without saying, talk to your doctor before you start taking anything new, especially if you're dealing with any health conditions or taking other medications.
Always a good idea. Now, speaking of critical evaluation, we should probably talk about some of the marketing tactics around Cellucare. We already mentioned that whole red flag about only being able to buy it online.
Right, right.
But there are a couple of other things that stood out to me.
Okay, I'm all ears. What kind of tactics?
Well, one that's super common with supplements is that they really lean on those personal testimonials. The anecdotal evidence like the YouTube reviews we were looking at.
Yes.
And those stories, they can be compelling. They can really draw you in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But we can't forget that those stories, they're not a replacement for scientific evidence.
Right.
Individual experiences, they can vary so much. And what works for one person might not work for someone else.
That's true. It's easy to fall into that trap of thinking, well, it worked for them, so it'll definitely work for me.
That halo effect, we call it.
Uh-huh.
And another tactic I noticed is using language that really plays on that desire for natural and holistic solutions.
Oh, yeah?
So you'll see Cellucare described as natural and plant-based a lot, like an alternative to those conventional medications.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with looking for natural approaches to health, but we can't automatically assume natural equals effective or safe.
Right. Just because it comes from nature doesn't mean it can't have side effects
Exactly.
or interact with other medications.
And that's especially true if you have any underlying health conditions. So yeah, buyer beware. It's so important to do your research, talk to your doctor, and really be skeptical of those marketing claims.
Okay, good advice.
Yeah.
Now, what about that money-back guarantee? A lot of the reviewers mentioned that Cellucare has a 60-day money-back guarantee if you're not happy.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good on the surface, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But I'm guessing there's a catch.
Well, remember how a lot of reviewers said you need to take Cellucare for like 3 to 6 months to really see the benefits?
Yeah.
So offering a 60-day money-back guarantee, it seems a little bit, I don't know.
Contradictory.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
try it risk-free for 60 days, but you might not actually see the full effects in that time.
Oh, so you might not even know if it's working before the money-back guarantee runs out.
Exactly.
That's sneaky.
It is a bit clever, isn't it?
It is. Playing on that desire for quick results while also suggesting you need to take it for months.
Marketing 101.
Exactly.
It's just important to be aware of these things so you can make smart choices. You know, be in control of your own health decisions.
Absolutely. Now, I want to shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
I was thinking about something as I was watching those YouTube reviews.
Hmm.
And it's not even about the product itself.
Hmm.
It's about the stories.
The people.
Yeah, the people sharing their experiences and their motivations for even trying Cellucare.
Right. It's not just take this pill and all your problems will be solved.
Exactly. What stood out to you about those stories?
A lot of the reviewers, they're not just looking for a quick fix. They're looking for a way to actually take control of their health, you know, make real changes.
Right, like a lifestyle change.
Exactly. They're talking about eating healthier, getting more exercise, managing stress.
Yeah, it's like Cellucare becomes part of this bigger commitment to health.
I think that's a really positive thing. It's not just about taking a pill. It's about a conscious choice to invest in their well-being.
It is inspiring to see people really take charge of their health like that.
It is. And you know, if even some of these anecdotal reports about Cellucare have truth to them, it does make you think about the potential of natural remedies, right?
It does. It's pretty fascinating. If those ingredients can actually have a positive impact on blood sugar, what else is out there in the natural world?
Right. What if we're just scratching the surface of what nature has to offer us?
It makes you wonder. And hopefully this deep dive into Cellucare will inspire some of our listeners to keep exploring the world of natural health and wellness.
That's what we hope for. And always remember, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
The more you understand about your body, your health, and the options you have, the better choices you can make.
Couldn't agree more. All right, welcome back to the final part of our Cellucare deep dive.
It's been a wild ride. We've talked ingredients, science, marketing, all those YouTube reviews.
We have lots to think about. So what does all of this mean for our viewers who are out there thinking about maybe trying Cellucare for their blood sugar? What are the big takeaways?
Well, the most important thing to remember is that Cellucare is a supplement. It's not some magic cure-all.
Right.
It's not going to replace a healthy lifestyle or any medications that your doctor has prescribed.
Right. Always talk to your doctor first, especially if you're dealing with any health conditions.
Absolutely. Supplements are meant to complement your overall health plan, not replace it.
Now, if someone is thinking about adding Cellucare to their routine, what should they be thinking about? What should they expect?
I think realistic expectations are key. We've seen some promising things in those studies on the ingredients, but we still need more research to really confirm that it's effective in this specific formula.
Right. And don't forget about all those marketing tactics we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get swept up in the hype.
Don't believe every glowing testimonial you see.
Right. Quick fixes rarely work.
Mm.
Focus on those long-term healthy habits. Eating right, exercise, managing stress.
Exactly. And if you do decide to give Cellucare a shot, make sure you're taking it consistently. As directed, for the recommended time. Give it a chance to actually work.
Right. It's a commitment. I want to go back to something we talked about earlier about the potential of natural remedies. If Cellucare's ingredients, even just based on what people are saying online, can have some positive effects on blood sugar, it really makes you wonder what else is out there.
It does. It makes you think, what if we're just at the beginning of understanding what nature can do for our health?
Right. What if we can harness that power in even more targeted and effective ways?
It's a pretty exciting thought.
It is. So maybe this deep dive into Cellucare will spark some curiosity in our viewers. Encourage them to keep exploring the world of natural remedies.
Absolutely. And remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about your body, your health, and all the options you have, the better you can take care of yourself.
Well said. So that wraps up our Cellucare deep dive. I hope it's been helpful, giving you some things to think about.
And maybe even a little bit inspiring.
Definitely. If you want to learn more about Cellucare, there's a link to their website in the description. But again, as always, talk to your doctor before you make any decisions about your health.
And remember, this deep dive is just the start. Maybe it'll inspire you to do some research on one of those ingredients that caught your attention, or just have a more open conversation with your doctor about natural approaches to health.
Stay curious, stay informed, and keep learning. Until next time, take care.